What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about the top 5 most heavily shorted EV stocks in the market as of right now. So I'm going to go over all the things that you need to know, but first make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. And at the end of the video, I'm going to do a bonus 3 charging companies as well. So without further ado, let's get right to it. So starting off with stock number 5, Workhorse. So on Friday, it did go down 2.08% over the last 1 year, down 91.72, and in 2024, down 89%. Right now, 21.57% of the free float is being shorted. That works out to be 4.49 million shares. On Friday, shorts did return roughly around 15,000 shares. Utilization is 87.47, and then short score, so the higher the number, the higher the likelihood of a squeeze happening, is sitting at 81.99. There's a lot of good information up top here that you can always feel free and pause, go through if you need to. But based on IBKR, it does indicate around 96 shares is available to be shorted. So very limited supply. So that could mean something, might not mean anything. You guys do your own due diligence at the end of the day. Moving on to stock number 4. The kind of reigning champ for the most part has been dethroned, and that is Lucid. So it did go up 2.1% on Friday. Over the last 1 year, down 36.33%, and in 2024, down 19.24%. 28.16% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 252.4 million shares overall are being shorted. Friday, shorts increased 203,000 shares. So it is kind of crazy the fact that we are at stock number 4 and it's already at 28%, but utilization is 97.03. And generally with shorts over the last little bit, they have been really getting in quite significantly. So something to keep in mind. They do have their earnings in roughly around 2.5 weeks. So maybe that might get them off of their back, or might really kind of intensify that. Through IBKR, it does indicate around 350,000 shares is available to be shorted. Moving on to stock number 3, you have Nikola. So it did go down 1.15% over the last 1 year, down 89.61, and in 2024, down 83.62%. But based on this, 29.76% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 14.62 million shares overall are being shorted. Shorts returned 162,000 shares on Friday. Cost to borrow average is fairly high, so 244.28%, and then short score is 91.62. So once again, as I've explained in the past, higher the number, the higher the likelihood of a squeeze happening. And through IBKR, does indicate around 550,000 shares is available to be shorted. Next 2 stocks are kind of interesting. A lot of people do really compare the two, but number 2 is Faraday. Did go down 8.73% on Friday. Over the last 1 year, down 98.15, and in 2024, down 90.94%. Through this, it does indicate 43.13% of the free float is being shorted. That works out to be 4.82 million shares. Shorts increased to 468,000 shares on Friday. Utilization is 94.24, and then short score 82.02. And through IBKR, does indicate around 100,000 shares is available to be shorted. And then moving on to stock number 1, you have MULN Automotive, tickers MULN, did go down 4.91% on Friday. Over the last 1 year, down 99.95%, and in 2024, down 99.85%. And based on Ortex, it does indicate 48.38% of the free float is being shorted. That works to be 8.28 thousand shares. Shorts increased around 5,000 shares on Friday. Utilization 64.54, and obviously it does indicate that it is on the threshold list. And through this as well, it does indicate that on Friday, or I guess late Friday, there was roughly around 35,000 shares available to be shorted. And then on a side note as well, cost to borrow average is fairly high, so 362.13%. So once again, you guys do your own due diligence on these top 5. If you guys own them, let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. But without further ado, let's get right to the top EV charging companies. So in case you are new to the channel, I do always refer to this, go through everything possible just to see what Tesla's at and everything. So I have vetted all these. Stock number 3 is BLNK, so ticker BLNK, did go up 6.99% on Friday over the last 1 year, down 38.96%, and in 2024 down 41.59%. Based on this, 27.19% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 26.01 million shares, utilization 96.23, and then cost per average is 12.74. With this company, it seems like they've been kind of all over the place. The low for August was roughly 21%. The high recently was on September 13th of 35.77%. So it is all over the place, and I think that's one thing that really does affect the EV chargers is shorts have been in them for a very long time, even extending it a little bit further, like all the way up to like 2020. Short interest at that time was like 47%. So they've been really sticking around unnecessarily and most likely unwelcomed. So yeah, let me know you guys' thoughts on that. Moving on to stock number 2, you have ChargePoint. So on Friday, it did go up 2.29%. Over the last 1 year, down 64.55%. And in 2024, down 42.74%. 27.54% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 109.64 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average is fairly low, so 6.66%. Utilization is 95.5. With this company, shorts similarly have been lagging and kind of just lingering around for a while, but I guess generally comparing from kind of the peak in September to where it is now, shorts have been returning a good 10%. So that might mean something, might not mean anything. You guys, once again, kind of do your own stuff, own due diligence. Through IBKR does indicate around 150,000 shares is available to be shorted. And then moving on to number 1, the most heavily shorted EV stock, or I guess charging, is EVGO. Did go up 8.7% or 0.7% on Friday. Over the last 1 year, up 137.05%. And in 2024, up a measly 101%. So very much round of applause deserving of that. But despite the good success, it is very heavily shorted. So 27.77% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 27.77 million shares overall are being shorted. So that's a very weird coincidence for that. But shorts did increase 1.33 million shares on Friday. Utilization is 50.33, and then cost to borrow average is 2.15%. With this company though, shorts have actually been returning since its peak of roughly 34% in June to where it is now. So that might be somewhat optimistic. You guys kind of just let me know you guys' thoughts on that. As far as through IBKR does indicate around 200,000 shares is available. So I think in all the cases, with exception of that one NKLA, somewhat limited supply. Everything else, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal for this week. So yeah, let me know you guys' thoughts. Do you guys own any of these stocks, or is there any other EV stocks that you feel is going to be a squeeze play, such as NIO, RIVN? This is probably one of the first reports that RIVN did not make. It was number 6, but still, let me know your thoughts. 2 things I want to bring up quickly. Take advantage of this promo. It does give you 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So that is a kick-ass deal that you must take advantage of. And then aside from that, I did launch multiple different tiers for my memberships for YouTube. So if you're looking for buy signals on stocks outside of EVs or whatever, then definitely consider taking a look at that. But aside from that, with all that, appreciate all of you guys watching.